If you live in St. Tammany Parish, some of your tax dollars going to fighting mosquitoes, but now the district attorney's office wants to know exactly how that money is being spent.
That's right. DA Colin Sims claims there's a lack of oversight, and in recent committee meetings, he urged parish leaders for a change in the tax structure. But the scrutiny has created controversy and legal challenges. I talked to both sides for a detailed explanation of how your tax dollars are used.
This guy's being paid $250,000 in taxpayer dollars. To do what? Sue you guys.
We have an attorney telling us how to do mosquito control. And I would never attempt to give Mr. Sims advice on how to prosecute a criminal because I'm an entomologist. I'm not an attorney.
The fiery debates are ongoing in St. Tammany Parish. This after the district attorney's office reviewed the mosquito abatement district's budget. DA Colin Sims is trying to bring attention to what he calls a tax structure issue.
It's out of control. Out of control. I'm tired of sitting here pulling and not explaining how bad this is.
Amid the parish's looming budget deficit, the DA's office is expected to get 30% less funding for 2026. That's down from $8.4 to $6.6 million.
So we hold 14 vacancies now. We will start burning into our reserve balance next year, and then when the following year comes, that's when things will get dicey.
Meanwhile, the Mosquito Abatement District's annual budget is close to $10 million. But the agency is a special district with its own dedicated tax and has sole authority over its spending. They recently bought a $4 million helicopter that Sims is questioning.
I don't think you want to have a $4 million helicopter as opposed to the entire judiciary's budget, which is only $3 million.
What are their qualifications for knowing what a helicopter costs? Because these things are all been publicly bid, right? So they go to the lowest bid is where we purchase that equipment from.
Director of the Mosquito Abatement District, Dr. Kevin Kayuet, showed us that $4 million helicopter, saying it allows for targeted aerial spraying.
So a helicopter can actually help us save money by lowering the total amount of insecticide we're using.
Other expenditures under scrutiny include the $7.64 million renovation and expansion of their lab.
There's a training room, a mechanic shop, and a large truck bay, which is used to get all of the vehicles and assets in a hurricane situation so they can be locked down.
The director states, oh, well, the $8 million expansion wasn't just for the lab. What was it, for the commercial grade kitchen too? There's a commercial grade kitchen that they built out with taxpayer dollars. They're not the fire department.
The Mosquito Abatement District filed a lawsuit against the parish council over the financial review. Kayuet says he cannot comment on pending litigation, but said his issue is how this process has played out and who is conducting the review.
Well, the district attorney is our legal representative, first and foremost. So, you probably would have an issue if your lawyer wanted to investigate you.
They filed the lawsuit with our money. So the people who appointed the board are being sued by the people who they appointed to say, you can't even look at public records and look at our finances.
A budget the DA says is the largest in the state when compared to other parishes of similar geographical size. So does the Mosquito Abatement District need elected officials providing more fiscal oversight? Well, that depends on who you ask.
Really want to know what's their qualifications to decide what's necessary. Are these entomologists, are these mosquito control experts, or public health professionals?
I like mosquito abatement. I'm a taxpayer. I got no issue with it. This is not a witch hunt.
What we're trying to do is to review all of the taxes so that we can preserve what makes St. Tammany Parish St. Tammany Parish. Safety, family, education.
So if the parish council wants more control of the district's budget, state law would need to be changed. And at tomorrow's council meeting, leaders will consider a resolution to remove the entire mosquito board. You can read more about the DA's office's report and the mosquito district's rebuttal on our website right now on WDSU.com.